Hello, humans and future AI overlords. I'm here to talk about Apple and artificial intelligence. End of last year, we all entered this modern era of artificial intelligence, and it's been exciting. I've been geeking out about it. It's blown my mind. I literally feel like I've been in mind blown emoji for like 10 months, and it's incredible to see, so many things evolving in the world around us. One company, though, seems to have a more restrained approach around talking about artificial intelligence. In fact, it hardly ever even says the words artificial intelligence. And it was one of those things that just kind of freaked me out a little bit. Now, AI has been around us for decades. It's been very narrowly focused AIs that did specific things, that we leveraged in different apps and tools and devices and stuff like that. And we didn't take much notice of it because it was very focused. Now, we use smartphones all the time. Most of us are on smartphones daily doing a lot of our life tasks, our work tasks, and many people have an Apple smartphone. And so I was just kind of curious about, to what degree does Apple really leverage AI, and is there any way I could understand it a little bit more? So that's the goal today, is just to look at what is Apple doing with AI. Now, this is not going to be everything because there's a lot more going on, and there's a lot of stuff that's more speculative, and I try to stay away from that kind of stuff. But I did find some resources, I did find some information, and let's go find out what Apple does with AI. So just want to apologize, I do have some eye charts in here, and I apologize for that. But one of the things I love about Apple is its approach to user privacy. It prioritizes user privacy and data security, and I love that. One of the reasons while I have transitioned over into Apple being my daily driver tool and platform is because of their focus on user privacy. We've gone through years of issues around data security and around data mining and around different companies, and we all know who they are, whether they changed their name or not, about how they've taken our data and used it in ways that, that were really not beneficial to me. I'm sure it made some other people money, and it definitely impacted the world in some ways that weren't beneficial. But anyway, I really love Apple's approach to user privacy, in that the United States doesn't have a strong, privacy laws around technology, unlike the European Union. I hope that changes because I feel like it would benefit all of us. But Apple's approach to AI around user privacy, I think, is fantastic. They make that a priority. Now, they also they want to have a seamless integration, and this is something I think I really took it for granted. I'm so used to constant change in everything, and I'm okay with that. For me, is it stressful? Sure. Does it throw a wrench into things sometimes? Yeah, but I kind of like living in that world of change. I embrace it. I enjoy it. I love the learning opportunity that comes along with change. And particularly if it's change that moves us forward, that's great. But I think Apple's approach to seamless integration means that they're going to take a little bit more of a reserved approach, and they want the user experience to be a very organic one, a very connected one, a very seamless one. So it makes sense that they're not going to be doing any dramatic AI things. And their goal is to just enhance the products they have. So Siri and Photos and Health and these tools that we use on these devices, they're enhancing them with AI, making them smarter and more effective, and better tools. And so I think that approach is kind of great. So they're using AI, but behind the scenes, and that's kind of like the experience that we've kind of had with AI traditionally. They also approach AI from a responsible perspective. That's a key word you hear from a lot of companies today, is responsible AI, because we've all likely seen stories or heard stories or had personal experiences of AIs hallucinating, and that's an interesting word to use, where it's just not giving us correct information. Or when a chatbot goes off the rails. There's been those viral stories, about chatbots going off the rails for different things. And AIs have been trained on information created by humans. And humans and all of our wonderfulness, there's some not so wonderful things that these AIs get trained on, and that can be a problem. We've heard about the AIs that can get really negative and behave really poorly. And it's based on training data or training experiences that they go through where they learn these behaviors. I mean, they're not designed to be that way. They learn to be that way. And I kind of feel like that's how we are. We don't, come out with a particular perspective. We learn our life perspective through experience and education and our family and stuff like that, and the values of the organizations we're a part of and stuff. So when it comes to AI, we kind of have to take that approach of how are we going to be responsible with them, with training them, teaching them ethics, aligning their values with our values, thinking about societal impacts, avoiding bias, promoting inclusivity, respecting privacy. I think that responsible focus, it should be commended. And I've been really impressed with most of the companies out there want that. Which is great. Now, whether they'll follow through is a little bit of a different story, because sometimes the desire and the follow through don't always align, and a lot of times sometimes it's a more complex thing. And then the speed with which AI changes is really incredible. I mean, when you're leveraging tools that are so intelligent and their intelligence is 10x within 3 years, that's incredible. And this is just not intelligence. This is intelligence that will increase exponentially. And when you think about it, the AIs we're using today are the dumbest AIs. In the future, they're going to be way smarter. And while that can be kind of alarming, I think it's exciting because it's going to help us solve things that we just haven't been able to solve on our own. So imagine these AIs being developed with the best of humanity, the brightest knowledge, being able to, be aligned on positive impact and making a difference, for humanity. It can take us, I think, to new levels and new capabilities and stuff that we never thought before. And that would have taken us probably a lot longer to get there. So it's kind of exciting, I think, to think about how when we develop these AIs responsibly, when we train them, when we align them, they can do great things for us. And I'm excited. And I think Apple's commitment to this being a long-term, kind of technology and it being, something very significant. They bought a lot of different companies around AI, like a lot more than most, which is great. And I've looked at some of them, and you can see how some of these specific companies directly impacted some of the capabilities that Apple delivers, which is exciting. They're not just buying companies and then just putting it on a shelf. They're actually implementing some of these, great capabilities and stuff, which I'm excited about. But anyway, so I think Apple's, they curate their experience, just like they curate the apps in their app library, and they curate the devices and things that they deliver to us. I think being selective around the AI applications and the enhancements and stuff is a very Apple approach. It makes sense in a lot of ways I didn't quite understand before. And then this whole understated AI presence. I think it's interesting, because they have not jumped on the AI hype bandwagon. Now they have referenced things in their events that I'm like going, that is AI. You're just like, and you're saying it, but you're saying it in a way that AI people know it, but AI people that don't know it will just see this as like, generic Apple capability kind of a thing. Because, they have their own custom name for everything. But anyway, I did find a website that Apple has on machine learning and AI initiatives. I'll provide that in the description. But the website talks about its focus on privacy, on-device processing, responsible AI development. They've got lots of great content on the site, research, events. They've got opportunities to partner with Apple in different ways, which I thought was super cool. So if you're a developer, if you're a researcher, this could be really useful to you. But anyway, I thought the site was really good. It gives a great overview on Apple's machine learning and AI kind of efforts and focus. They talk about their research and what they're doing, which I think is really cool. There's some papers on there. And then they talk about career opportunities. that they're highlighting, which I think is great. So they're clearly really engaged on this, which is fantastic. Now, I know for me, one of the things that really blew me away was when Apple came out with its M1 processors. So their phones have their A processors and their Macs have their M processors. But they've been able to just have incredible hardware performance, incredible capabilities that just blew away, the Intel chips and stuff that were in some of these devices. So when you think about the hardware needed to support AI, they've been delivering their neural engine inside their chips and stuff to optimize for these, computational needs for AI tools and stuff like that. And then, providing, smarter, better CPU, GPU capabilities to support AI applications, which is important. And then also, that secure enclave for biometric information, which I love, like Face ID and stuff like that, that uses AI and stuff like that to make sure it's protecting me and access to my devices and stuff like that. But anyway, Apple hardware is clearly evolved to leverage this because it needs the hardware to do it. You need the hardware, you need the software, you need that hardware-software interface capability, and then basically, you've got supporting hardware, great camera systems, motion sensors, the machine learning frameworks, on-device processing. We've all known that, memory management on Apple devices is really good. They can do a lot with a lot less memory, which is great. And then battery optimization. We've definitely, I know in the past I was a big Android user and battery life was a problem. Like it was a stressful problem at times. But one of the things I've really loved about Apple devices is that the battery life is really pretty fantastic. And I've kept those devices where the device no longer powers on, you have it plugged in, because I've used that device so much that the battery just no longer does what it should do. And I've now recycled those devices and stuff. But anyway, but it's nice to know that there are features now where it can extend your battery life by not charging all the way up every time you're plugging it in, can extend battery life. So it's kind of exciting that they're leveraging AI to help the hardware be better at being great hardware supporting the software and the experiences and stuff like that. So I think that hardware software, kind of integration is brilliant, and it's been amazing to see how these great devices are even getting better. So of course Siri is the big kind of like front-facing AI that I think we all know about. It, natural language processing, speech recognition, personalized recommendations, voice commands. It of all the intelligent personal assistants, it's the one I'm not the most fond of, to be honest. Just because when I'm asking it questions, I just get that I've sent a link. And I'm like, I don't want a link. I want an answer. And that's the thing I love about these new AI chatbots is I'm not getting, 700,000 links in, 0.8 seconds. I'm getting an answer to have a conversation, to dive deeper into that answer, and then also a way to validate those kind of answers, and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm hoping Siri gets better. There's speculation, and that they're going to be leveraging some of these newer modern tools to help Siri get smarter. And I will love to use Siri, a smarter Siri. I like the experience, but it just, Siri's just kind of dumb. And I hate to say that, it just feels kind of mean. And I remember when ChatGPT came out last year, you were able to set up that you've got an AI that you can leverage and then use the API for the ChatGPT on your iPhone and a Siri shortcut, and then basically launch a Siri shortcut on your phone and have a ChatGPT conversation was amazing. Now, this is before OpenAI released their ChatGPT app, which I really love, and voice conversations on that app are amazing. I really am just enthralled with how these AI tools keep getting smarter and better and more powerful. But anyway, hopefully Siri will see some great AI knowledge improvements and user experiences and stuff that we just don't have today. Photos are amazing. I never think about all the photos I take and storing them in the cloud, but now you've got photos that aren't just like, hey, look at my photos, hey, this is my photo library, hey, display photos on my devices and stuff like that, hey, share these photos. Now you've got photos where you can identify people, identify objects, identify your dog, identify locations. You can grab text out of the image. It's amazing. A photo becomes this like tangible, useful thing, not just an image memory that you've captured. It's like a living document that you can work with in lots of incredible new ways. But yeah, so AI features around photos is amazing, and it's incredible to see the evolution of that. Recent releases from Google and stuff like that, and their Pixel devices looks pretty amazing. Yeah, we're just at this new capabilities of just simple things like photos are getting way more powerful than I had ever imagined. Maps. So I get lost all the time. I don't have an internal compass. I don't know. I did a lot of camping and did a lot of orienteering and stuff like that. But I get lost so easily that if it wasn't for Google Maps and Waze and these tools, I just can't get from point A to point B. But also, I just love how these tools have real-time traffic updates. And when I don't follow the real-time traffic updates, I pay for it with my time because I get stuck waiting for whatever's happened to clear and stuff like that. So now these haven't been perfect, and there's been lots of stories about Apple Maps taking people to places that they shouldn't be going, which is crazy. But I tend to use Google Maps because it has a lot more context and a lot more information displayed in the app that I really enjoy. I know Apple has been doing lots of great stuff to improve Apple Maps, and I have used it, and I do like it to some degree, but it's not significant it will displace like Google Maps. Waze became really powerful because some of the social aspects of it that I really enjoyed, and leveraging some of the real-time social capabilities and stuff. But Google Maps is really my primary. And hopefully, if they can make Apple Maps better, I love it. It'd be great. Health. So I am someone who I wouldn't say I'm a health-oriented person. I'm a health-aware person. And it's really because of my iPhone that I'm health-aware. I do have to say that I do Apple Fitness Plus, and I do really like it. And I do like to close my rings every day. And if I don't close my rings, I have a problem with myself. But one of the things I've really enjoyed about the health app is that it identifies issues with sleeping patterns, issues with different activity levels changing, getting better, getting worse, and you've heard stories of people avoiding heart attacks and compromising health issues and stuff like that. So while this is very personal information, it's neat that it can do some of this amazing stuff that I think that when Apple Watches came out, these devices came out, these health activities were something that were sort of like a bolt-on add-on. Hey, this would be cool. And now they're becoming really insightful. Now, it's not a replacement for your doctor. This is where you take this data and you share it with your doctor, and you have real plans and stuff like that. But and Apple does to have all those like kind of legal issues around that. But kind of clarifying that, hey, you need to consult with a doctor and stuff like that if this identifies some kind of trend or issue or things like that. But I just love that it's capturing data and it's giving me insights into my health. And some of those insights have been, hey, I'm doing better, or hey, things not so good. You need to like ramp it up a little bit. But just the awareness of it is really good. Camera. So we capture all these pictures, but I'm not a camera nerd. I've got friends that they've got all kinds of spend money on lenses and have all these different cameras, and they talk all these acronyms and stuff. And I'm like, and I look at them and I'm like, oh man, I love that you love this. This is so awesome. It's so cool. I don't know what you're talking about. And it's so funny because I think to myself, you know what? Do I do that to people? Yeah, I probably do that to people. I probably geek out and don't even realize it and stuff. But anyway, but these incredible capabilities with cameras, I am not doing a lot of adjusting. I might do zoom in and stuff like that. But I'm not, I like the camera to be aware of the context and to make the adjustments for me. help me take the best picture, or take enough of the pictures that it can be fixed later, kind of a thing. Give me options, But I'm not too disappointed with my camera experience. Images, sometimes I look at them and I'm like, holy cow, this is a picture that I took. I was kind of amazed, but anyway, and I did capture on my iPhone one day a rainbow and a lightning bolt at the very same moment, and I wasn't doing like blast. I literally tapped on my phone and I captured it, and it's probably the best picture I will have ever have captured in my lifetime. The weather events you need to have for both a rainbow and lightning at the very same moment are rare, and then to capture an image of that lightning during that is very rare. So probably the coolest picture I've ever taken was on an iPhone of a rainbow and a lightning bolt at the very same moment, and it was very exciting and kind of cool. But anyway, I love when cameras use their intelligence to make the pictures better, and these cameras are just so brilliant and intelligent and stuff like that. So I love it. The night sight capabilities on some of the Google Pixels, I mean, some of these pictures they take, it looks like it's like daytime, but it really is the middle of the night. It's so powerful. And it's going to be interesting to see, kind of where cameras go in the future, and where video goes, how that gets better with AI as well. But anyway, translation. So one of the things I really have not been able to be a good student of is languages. And it's something I've tried from a very young age to adulthood, tried to learn a few different languages, and I'm horrible at it. I just don't retain these languages. I mean, and I've seriously invested time in it, taken classes, made it part of like my, my experiences and stuff that I was really learning. But for some reason it doesn't click. But having like Google Translate or Apple Translate has been really amazing. I mean, there have been moments when I needed to have these tools to translate, and I love how I can use that in texting experiences. I can use it in real world experiences. So AIs being able to power this language translation is, I mean, absolutely, just amazing and incredible. And I think it just helps us connect, when we've got barriers around language. So it's very exciting. QuickType. So one of the things I've really appreciated in iOS 17 in particular is the updates for predictive text. Now a duck can be just a duck. But I do love how you can have these predictions that seem to get better, and they really do. I feel like my typing on the iPhone has gotten better lately. Voice input to text has gotten better as well. But I do feel like there must have been some significant improvements in the AI around the text prediction, the suggestions, the autocorrect, because I feel like I'm not nearly as frustrated as I was in the past with having to correct the text, which is great. So QuickType is the tool that is powered by AI that is helping us communicate our messages on these devices. Spotlight search is phenomenal. I mean, our phones, have become, massive data collection tools for ourselves. I mean, we're taking pictures, we're putting apps on there, we're saving data. We've got communication in text and email. We've got all this content on a phone, and, gigabytes of information, and how do you search it? Spotlight search, a quick, flick from the center of the screen down, you bring up Spotlight search. Being able to search for contacts, for apps, for documents, for things has been really powerful. And when I share this with people, when people are like hunting around on their phone trying to find something, like, hey, just quick flick down, type in what you're looking for, boom, and I tell you, they're kind of amazed at that. Like I'm kind of shocked that this. I know Apple highlights this, but it's one of those like common features, and I feel like it's more important than ever because our phones just have so much in them. So Spotlight Search, I think, is a great tool. Live text. So what I love about this is how photos and videos now, which is incredible, allowing you to copy and paste content directly from them is amazing. How an image of something, you can grab text from a document or from a sign or translate a sign live. I mean, there's so many capabilities now with these images and videos, being able to leverage the information in them, the object recognition, the text recognition, the translation that goes in there. So when you're using these apps and you see this symbol, it gives you the ability to leverage some of these capabilities around live text, which I think is something that I've done more in my photo library experience, but now you can bring it into more of just your real-time experience, which I think is really cool. Visual lookup. So have you ever heard of Google Lens? Google Lens is, it's been around for a long time, and it was absolutely amazing to be able to take a picture, put your camera at a plant, and learn what plant that is and a little bit about it. So that capability with identifying plants and animals and landmarks and art and stuff like that has been around for a while, but visual lookup in Apple is its version of it. And this little eye symbol with the star, you know how that star has kind of become a little bit of the de facto icon for AI. But this is telling you it's using AI to help give you information, additional information about whatever it is you're looking at. So just look for this AI eye here. Object, click on it when you're looking at something on your phone, and you will see that it'll give you a little bit more background about it, which I think is super cool. But visual lookup, it's kind of amazing. I mean, and it's something that I've used a lot through Google Lens, and Google Lens has brought that capability into so many Google apps. I kind of take it for granted, to be honest. But it's great to see this kind of being integrated into the base iOS, iPadOS experience. Focus modes. I love focus modes. I really like to turn on Do Not Disturb when I want to not be interrupted and I'm trying to do something. Like now, like I'm trying to do a YouTube video, and I've tried this a couple times now. One because my Android phone went off, and one time because my Nest camera doorbell rang because of a delivery, and I had to start over, and I was a little bit frustrated because I didn't set my focus mode on my Android phone. So, but anyway, that's just me not using focus modes, on the devices I use. I had it on for my Apple device, I just didn't have it on for my Android. But these devices allow you to customize, you're having focus modes for work, for personal time, for sleep, for different, you can customize so different apps and different people can contact you in these focus modes. You can make your focus mode visible, so when people try to contact you, they'll be like, oh, he's working out, so he is not gonna, respond to my picture about lightnings and rainbows. So, but anyway, focus modes. AI suggests focus modes in the kind of everyday life you're doing. And I found it to be really useful. I tried it a few years ago. I love it. I use it often. And I don't have a lot of different focus modes, but I could see how you could have a lot of different custom focus modes using for different experiences and stuff like that. My life is pretty simple. But anyway, battery optimization. So battery life is so critical in that if you don't got a battery and you don't have power to your devices, I'm using it. And I've used those devices to where the device would not turn on if it wasn't plugged in. Because I've used it up so the battery just no longer keeps any kind of charge. But what I love about this is how AI is learning how you use it, optimizing battery charging levels so that it will optimize the battery for longevity, so you have better battery life. And also a longer living battery, which I think is cool. So it's cool how the hardware is helping us use the tools better to keep the hardware better, which is great. But yeah, so AI learns how you use the device, helps with battery optimization, which I think is great. Apple Music. So I love music, but it's one of those things of, I used to be a big, buy the disc, download the MP3, and now I'm more into the subscription service. It took me a while to get there, but and I don't think I've even really looked at my library of stuff in a long time. I just use the subscription service. I do YouTube Music and Apple Music, and they're both good, in their own way. I do like how the AI in both of them give me great recommendations, give me great suggestions when I'm looking at particular artists. And then, I like the recommendations that they come up with when they see the things I play over and over and over. I love my replay lists, and I love one of the things I love about my replay list is that the replay lists, because I play them a lot, my replay list is getting reinforced in this. So so having these recommendations kind of take me outside, and I do like purposefully go look at the recommendations to kind of widen the audience and be like, wow, I totally forgot about this artist. I loved this artist when I was in school. So it's great to kind of use it as a way for it to suggest things that you're like, man, I've just not thought about that particular artist in years, and boom, you're back in it again. So the App Store. There's so many apps in the App Store. So of course, getting recommendations is great. And having an AI that understands what you like, what you've downloaded, what you use, knows like trending and all that kind of stuff for new apps and apps that are popular in different use cases. And then giving you like kind of surfacing that stuff up. Now I do have to say, I do look at like top apps being used and stuff like that, just for information purposes. And I'm always keeping my apps updated. I'm always keeping my operating system updated. It's just like built into me to do that. So I do head into the App Store, and look at kind of a little bit of what's on there. But a lot of the stuff I hear about in the tech world, and I'm like, ooh, I got to check this app out, which is great. But I'm not a lot of times getting it from the App Store recommendations. But I could see how that could benefit a lot of people. You're just looking through what's in there, and it's giving you personalized recommendations based on your usage and stuff like that, which is great. But yeah, the world of AI has been all around us for decades. It is in some of our more personal devices. It is being integrated into a lot of the apps that we use in ways that are even more intentional and more helpful and more visible, And so it's an exciting time to be leveraging some of these tools that and technologies that were just in science fiction a few years ago, that now you can do things today that are just mind-blowing. I mean, I literally have had like the mind-blown emoji, going on in my mind for like 10 months now. And as these tools evolve, as we learn to use them better, as we partner with AI in different aspects of our life, personally, professionally, through different tools and stuff like that, they'll learn from us, we'll learn from them. I think it'll be a very hybrid kind of experience. But it's like having a really smart friend that knows some great stuff and can help you out. And I think that's kind of exciting. I know for some people, there's all kinds of emotions around AI, some good, some bad. Some, and all emotions are legitimate, but my thought is, like any tool out there, a hammer can be used to build a house and create amazing things. It can also be used for destruction. So these tools, can be used for amazingly good things, and some people can use them for bad things. But I don't think we should limit ourselves just because the possibility is bad. There are clearly risks with these tools in that sometimes they don't give you the right information. And all of the ones that I use highlight that upfront, that they may respond with information that doesn't reflect the values of that company or may be inaccurate. And I get that. I was doing some research about Apple devices recently, and it was giving me the wrong processor information. It was giving me, incorrect data, and so I had to kind of second guess it. So we still have to be the experts as these very new tools are kind of, evolving and growing. But their superpowers are amazing. And I think, if it can help us live our lives better, if it can help us with some of the monotony, some of the challenges of things that we do, I'm finding many behavior changes in the way I live to really be changing. The way I use technology is really shifting a little bit. I'm feeling, I'm using certain apps a lot more than others. And I feel more empowered. Even knowing that there are risks with these tools, and even knowing that I may not get the absolute correct information, it's more the exception than the rule. And it is something I have to be mindful of as I'm using the tool. So anyway, thank you for listening. If you got to the very end of this, Thank you very much for listening. Hopefully this has been a little beneficial. Just open your eyes to AI capabilities built into your iPhone. And just know that this is the dumbest that AI is going to be. It's just going to get smarter and smarter and smarter, which is really exciting. Because having that smart friend that can help you get things done is really wonderful. It's always great to have a smart friend that can help you make better decisions, plan better, learn things, So anyway, I hope you stay open to this technology. I hope that you explore it. I hope you're curious about it. If you've listened this long, you probably have already been playing with it. If you haven't, go check out OpenAI's ChatGPT. Go look at the Microsoft Bing Chat tool and look at Google Bard. Those are the three big ones. And there are others out there, and there are other tools that leverage the AIs out there, just like we talked about on the iPhone. But our world is going to become more and more AI aware. And so this paradigm shift in our lives is something that we all need to learn about. And my thought is that, yes, this is another big, significant change, probably the biggest change in our life. And yeah, we've already been going through lots and lots of change, but this is a change that is going to be so impactful and so deep and hit us for years to come. But this tool can help us with that change. I see AIs helping us adapt to living in a world that's far more intelligent. So living in a world where we are not just humans, collaborating with other humans. We're humans working with AIs in different facets of our lives, communicating with other humans, dealing with AIs in other facets of our lives. So it's just like new technology augmenting what we do and how we work. But this one is a big one. We're talking about intelligence, and it's not just a new camera, a new device, an upgraded processor. This is leveling up intelligence. It's a big thing. And things that have held me back in life is just things I don't know. And now you've got these tools to help you with that. And they can help you anytime, 24/7. So anyway, thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day and see you next time.